I'll hereby call the October 16th, 2025 meeting of the ITS Board to order. I welcome all our guests joining via YouTube. If you are joining via YouTube, today's agenda can be viewed at the ITS webpage, which is www.its.ms.gov, by clicking About and then Board Meetings and then Agenda link next to today's date. If you are attending via live stream, please send an email to meetingminutes@its.ms.gov with your name and the entity you represent for our meeting minutes to reflect your attendance today. And with that, we will get started. Agenda item number 1 up for approval will be the minutes from our last meeting of September 18th. I believe they have all been circulated, and I hope everyone has reviewed them. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'd make the motion to approve as presented.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. We have a motion from Mark and a second from Tom. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. All right, moving on to agenda item number 2. We have Jake Alexander and Chess Fedrick, Director of Planning, Design, and Construction, who will present on behalf of Mississippi State University.
Hello, good morning. Agenda item number 2, project number 49222, requesting approval of an exemption from Mississippi State University, Office of Planning, Design, and Construction Administration, to request proposals for the acquisition of a project management information system. The exemption procedure allows agencies and institutions to request exemptions from ITS to handle specific information technology procurement projects that, by law, require solicitation of bids or proposals without the involvement of ITS. The exemption procedure is designed for projects involving traditional information technology equipment, software, or services which the agency institution has the in-house resources and expertise to procure. For exempted acquisitions, the purchasing agency/institution is responsible for making the purchase within the dollar amount authorized by ITS on the CP1 acquisition approval form and for following all applicable statutory requirements through the procurement process, including but not limited to those outlined in Title 25, Chapter 53 of the Mississippi Code. MSU's Office of Planning, Design, and Construction Administration is seeking approval of an exemption to publish an RFP for a project management information system capable of organizing and managing all facets of the project process, including design, construction, and closeout. A PMIS will provide a central location to view all necessary information related to an ongoing project without having to locate information stored in various locations. The staffs of ITS and MSU jointly recommend approval of the exemption request at a total estimated 5-year life cycle cost of $1,325,000. MSU will solicit proposals in accordance with all statutory requirements for such acquisitions. With me today to answer any questions you might have, it's Chess Fedrick, Director of the Office of Planning, Design, and Construction Administration, as well as Trey Breckenridge, Chief Information Officer.
Thank you both for joining us. I see Representative Ford is on also. Welcome, Jill. Do you have any questions either from the board or Representative Ford?
No.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Easy enough. Thank you all. Moving on to agenda item number 3. We have Danetta Durr and Robert Douglas, Senior Director of Revenue Cycle Support Services, presenting on behalf of UMMC.
Hey, good morning. All right, agenda item number 3 is the recommendation for project number 49224, question approval of an exemption for the University of Mississippi Medical Center to request proposals for the acquisition of claims manager and Scrubber software services and support. Each year, UMC transmits approximately 2,850,000 electronic claims files to insurance payers through its electronic health record and billing system, EPIC. This claim information sent electronically through an intermediary system is commonly called a claims manager and scrubber. The claims manager and scrubber manages the transfer of the electronic files and scrubs the data in the file to ensure it complies with the billing regulations of the specific payer it is sending the file to. The staffs of ITS and UMMC jointly recommend approval of the exemption request at a total estimated 5-year life cycle cost of $4,500,000. UMMC will solicit proposals in accordance with all statutory requirements for such acquisitions. With me today to answer any questions you may have is Robert Douglas, and he's the Senior Director of Revenue Cycle Support Services.
Thank you and welcome, Robert. Any questions from the board or Representative Ford? No questions, hearing none. Do I have a motion?
I move approval.
I'll do the second.
Thank you. Motion from Tom, second from Mark. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye. I did have one question. Is it true that EPIC is a 4-letter word?
Technically, yes.
For the people who work with it, I think it is. Sometimes. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you, Danetta. Appreciate it.
Okay, agenda item number 4, moving right along. We have Robert Martinez and Rick Sims, IT Department Supervisor, presenting on behalf of the Mississippi State Oil and Gas Board.
Good morning.
Morning.
Agenda item number 4 is project number 4710-49140, requesting approval for the sole source acquisition of oil and gas production system upgrades from the Groundwater Protection Council for the Mississippi State Oil and Gas Board. The Mississippi State Oil and Gas Board is responsible for the regulation of oil and gas resources in Mississippi. The Oil and Gas Board has primacy from the Environmental Protection Agency and regulates the Class 2 and 3 underground injection control program. The Oil and Gas Board also issues permits on drilling and plugging activities associated with these activities. The risk-based data management system was first installed at the Oil and Gas Board in 1993 and has been in continual use since then. It is a program developed by the Groundwater Protection Council for the Department of Energy and is used for managing all aspects of oil and gas wells, including underground injection wells. It is used for all aspects of the life cycle of a well, from the initial permitting, drilling, monthly production or injection, periodic inspections to the ultimate plugging of the well, and the system is vital for the economic purposes of Mississippi as well as for environmental concerns. The Groundwater Protection Council has acquired, developed, and retained in-depth knowledge of the database and regulatory practices. Therefore, the Oil and Gas Board is requesting to continue the existing contract with the Groundwater Protection Council for upgrades and development services to their existing risk-based data management system desktop application. ITS utilizes the provisions of public purchasing law for sole source and emergency procurements of information technology. Mississippi Public Purchasing Law, Mississippi Code Section 31713, specifies that non-competitive items available from one source only be exempted from bid requirements. ITS statute in Section 2553(5)P permits ITS to utilize provisions in public purchasing law or regulations when applicable. The notice of intent to certify sole source, including the vendor's correspondence regarding the criterion for this project, is included as Attachment B. On September 10th, 2025, ITS advertised a notice of intent to certify sole source number 4710 for the Oil and Gas Board for oil and gas production system upgrades through June 30th, 2028. No objections were received from interested parties. Therefore, ITS is certifying the request as a sole source pending ITS board approval. The staffs of ITS and the Oil and Gas Board jointly recommend Groundwater Protection Council as a sole source provider of oil and gas production system upgrades at a total 3-year lifecycle cost of $1,032,404. With this approval, the revised total lifecycle cost of this project is $1,833,647.90. With me today to answer any questions you may have is Rick Sims, the IT Department Supervisor.
Thank you and welcome, Rick. Any questions?
Sole source.
All right, I have a motion.
Nobody else claims they can do it, so I move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It carries. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Move on. All right, agenda item number 5, Rashonda Grindle, David Ezel, IT Project Management Team Lead, and Jack Lilly, Deputy Director, Driver Service Bureau, presenting on behalf of DPS. Welcome.
Good morning. Agenda item number 5 is for the recommendation for project number 49223 to utilize the award of RFQ number FLHSMV-RFQ-038-24 issued by the state of Florida for the acquisition of a Mississippi mobile driver's license and verify solution for the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety has a mobile ID that requires compliance and security enhancements as well as support for industry-leading digital wallets. DPS researched into what other comparable states were utilizing to offer compliant, secure mobile IDs compatible with popular digital wallets. They found several options, and after further discussion with Florida, DPS concluded that their solution meets Mississippi needs. Mississippi Code Annotated Section 25-53-5 grants ITS the authority to reuse awards made by other governmental entities when certain conditions are met. DPS was able to identify a public procurement in the state of Florida where Florida issued a request for quotes, seeking quotes from qualified vendors with contracts under the General Services Administration Multiple Award Schedule. ITS reviewed the procurement and award against the reuse criteria to support this acquisition. The staffs of ITS and DPS jointly recommend the selection of Carasoft Technology Corporation to provide a Mississippi mobile driver's license and verifiable solution at a total 6-year lifecycle cost of $2,310,000. With me today to answer any questions you may have in the place of David Ezel will be Tim Watson, Chief Information Officer, and Jack Lilly, Deputy Director for Driver Service Bureau.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Tim. Any questions or comments?
Madam
So
Chair.
this,
Go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say, this is for going in person to get your license renewed, is that right?
This is for the mobile ID. Once you've gone in person, you can present that mobile ID at airports and
Oh, okay.
on the roadside.
Tim, can you expound on that pretty significantly? So what does this cover and what does this product do for citizens?
Essentially, there's a mobile ID app today, but it's kind of like a picture of your driver's license. The TSA doesn't really like to accept that. It's basically good for roadside. But we were, I guess, 5 years ago, it was before the ISO standards came out. So there have subsequently been standards as far as mobile IDs are concerned. So this would be an ISO compliant solution instead of what we have today.
And I mean, if I understand this correctly, so for $385,000 a year, every citizen of the state of Mississippi can carry their ID on their phone?
Yes, compatible with the Apple Wallet, Android Wallet, Samsung Wallet.
Okay, and I can present it at an airport and get on an airplane and never have to carry a wallet ever again.
In theory. But yes, should be.
I don't know anybody that would not be excited by that.
Are you doing anything? Do you have any plans to push out like a notice of this, or how are you going to bring awareness of this option to people? How would I know if I didn't sit on the ITS board?
I'm sure we will publish something once it gets implemented, tested
And
and everything.
This is not a seat fee or a per user fee. This is an unlimited number of users.
Covers the state, all the drivers. Well, and ID holders, I guess. Yes.
This is the best deal that I think Department of Public Safety has ever brought to this board.
Well, I can't take all the credit.
I have no further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mark. Tom, are you good?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Mark to make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Mark,
I'll make
And
the
a second
motion.
from Tom.
second from Tom, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it carries. Thank you all.
Tim, when do I get this?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Make a
Mark,
note.
Mark, do you want me to say you for a committee to oversee the implementation timeline?
I will be there, Tim.
Volunteer to be a beta tester?
Sign me up.
Yeah, sign me up too.
Sign me up.
All right,
you.
thanks, guys. Okay, I think we're on number 6, agenda item number 6, for Shonda Grindle, Dr. Dorothy Young, Assistant Senior Deputy, and Kendra Johnson, STD HIV Office Director, presenting on behalf of the Mississippi State Department of Health. Thank you and welcome.
Agenda item number 6 is for the recommendation for project number 49227-4082 for the continuation of an increase to the agreement with Acro Service Corporation for the Acro Corporation Case Management System for the Mississippi State Department of Health. The Mississippi Department of Health currently utilizes the Ryan White Part B federal program that mandates the Mississippi State Department of Health as a payer of last choice for people with HIV who encounter financial obstacles when seeking HIV care. For those who qualify, it offers a full range of HIV primary medical treatment, necessary support services, and drugs. The program provides grants to states, counties, cities, and local community-based organizations to improve health outcomes, reduce HIV transmission among HIV-positive individuals, and provide care and treatment services. It is funded by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources, and Service Administration. In 2018, ITS, on behalf of MSDH, issued RFP number 4082 for an electronic age drug assistance program application. ITS executed a software license and application service provider agreement in September 2018 with Acro Service Corporation for a 5-year term. The ACAM system proposed by Acro is used to keep track of protected health information for around 3,500 programs participants and to process eligibility for these services. Please be aware the expiration date in the packet was incorrectly stated as January 18, 2025. The agreement is set to expire January 18 of 2026. Therefore, Mississippi MSDH is requesting a 2-year extension. The staffs of ITS and MSDH jointly recommends approval of the continuation of an increase to the agreement with Acro Service Corporation through January 18, 2028 in an amount not to exceed $256,910 for the ACAM system. With this continuation, the revised total not to exceed 10-year life cycle cost of this project is $1,199,218. With me today to answer any questions you may have is Dr. Dorothy Young, Assistant Senior Deputy, and Kendra Johnson, Director of STD and HIV Office.
Welcome, Dr. Young. Any questions from the board?
So we probably won't go the whole 2 years.
We need to make sure that the IDSP is fully implemented. Data migration has occurred, training, go live. It's a pretty big project, so we're giving ourselves some wiggle room for sure.
Makes sense.
I love that kind of planning, Dr. Young.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any
Motion
other
approved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, and it carries. Agenda item number 7, Danetta Dur and Patricia Camaccio, Program Specialists, presenting on behalf of MDOT. Thank you and welcome.
No audio.
Can you all hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. This wasn't down, so I need to start over. All right, so thank you. Agenda item number 7 is the recommendation for project number 49235-4356 for the continuation of an increase to the agreement with AskReply Incorporated, doing business as B2G Now for a transit grant management system for the Mississippi Department of Transportation. In 2022, ITS, on behalf of MDOT, issued RFP number 4356 for a grant management and transit asset management system. The RFP award was given to AskReply Incorporated, doing business as Panther International for their Black Cat system for a 3-year term. For the past 3 years, the MDOT Public Transit Division has been working to implement the Black Cat system. However, progress has decelerated due to FTA compliance and supervision requirements, leaving MDOT to continue its use of in-house manual processes for grants management, administration, and transit asset management. Despite the project's challenges, MDOT has successfully utilized components of the Black Cat system as they have become available and continues to work toward full implementation. With this request, MDOT is seeking to continue its usage of the Black Cat system for an additional 3-year term in order to manage grant funding and transit management requirements. The staffs of ITS and MDOT jointly recommend approval of the continuation of an increase to the agreement with AskReply Incorporated, doing business as B2G Now through November 2nd, 2028, in an amount not to exceed $528,000, $528,544.25 for a transit grant management system. With this continuation, the revised total 6-year lifecycle cost of this project is $1,029,544.25. With me today to answer any questions you may have is Program Specialist Patricia Camaccio.
Thank you and welcome. Any questions or comments from the board or Representative Ford?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Mark.
Patricia, would you mind just walking us through? I mean, IT projects are hard. I mean, everybody knows that and understands that, but at the same time, I mean, the transfer I think here has been going on for a while. I mean, why are we not there yet, and why are we having to go back and pay someone that we've told, hey, look, we don't want to do business with you anymore, and we're going to go back and do business with them?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the project, as I said, for the past 3 years, Public Transit Division has been in implementation phases of the Black Cat system, which is already being used to manage grant applications and the transit management requirements. We still use the in-house system just for reimbursements, but we expect to start reimbursement through the Black Cat system now this next year, 2026. And we have accomplished numerous goals over the last 3 years, and like funding, the application system, and this has been a great software for us, because we can manage the entire grant management application life cycle in just one platform. And the system allows us the flexibility to customize the needs, focusing on the best practices in grant management. And I can say that also the system brings mutual benefit for us and for communities, especially for public transit providers.
Yeah.
And-
Hey, this is Ben. Do y'all mind me saying a few words?
Please.
I just want to state that that's a little misleading that we're still using some of the manual processes. They have been going through an implementation phase over the last 3 years. We have roughly $54 million worth of grants flowing through that system currently. So that's about 27 million per year they've been going through. They went through a very arduous manual process in the past of executing contracts. And that was a manual process. They had like 200, they used to mail out about 200 physical contracts a year. That's all being done electronically through the system. So now, you know, the money's flowing in the system. The grant application process is going through the system. The mail out of the contracts are going through the system. The last piece is the reimbursement part that Patricia was mentioning just now, but that was actually not a good description of where we are 3 years into this project. And I would also like to mention on page, I think it was 7.3, if I can find it, 7.3 of the business case, we listed out all 3 years of the accomplishments that have already taken place in the system so that you would know exactly what has been implemented and what has, you know, what's yet to come. And it's a continuous improvement model. So the way the system, it is out of the box hosted solution that ties into the federal transit system. So it basically allows us to collect the grant information that we need. It's formatted such that they can easily communicate back and forth with the Federal Transit Administration system. But the way it has worked was we paid year one subscription fee and immediately started implementing phases of the system over the last 3 years. And to your point, we are wanting to continue the subscription fee service and finally wrap up the implementation period coming up here in the future so that the system runs year to year. I think they oversee $36 million worth of federal transit grants a year is my understanding. That will flow through this system, and it will all be centralized and automated, and we'll probably save a great deal of time. I think we added some of those metrics to the business case as well.
And we are ready for full implementation this next year.
When does the and I'm trying to catch up on this in terms of so Black Cat is the new system,
Yes, it is the new system.
and what is the old system?
No, actually, Black Cat it has been using for this last 3 years, but not just for we implemented the requirement part, the reimbursement parts, but everything has been done through Black Cat system these last 3 years. Like reimbursement, as Ben said, the all assets, capital, equipment, vehicles, everything is in the system to better manage all this process.
Yeah, the old process was just manual. There was no centralized system in place.
Yeah.
I think it was a series of spreadsheets and mail outs and things of that nature. The transit sub-recipients were applying for federal transit funds, mailing in packets to the Federal Transit Administration that can now be done electronically through the Black Cat system. And so to answer your question, Mark, the Black Cat system has been in place for the past 3 years. And that introduction in the background where it states that MDOT is still following manual process is not a correct statement.
Yeah.
Should not have probably been in the background, to be honest with you, which is why if you look at the page 7.3, why we had the years listed out, and that was just basically something we didn't catch in the write-up.
Okay. So let's just make sure I understand it correctly. Is that we're the current request is another $500,000. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
And it is an extension to an existing transition into Black Cat.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
we're
sir.
adding on additional functionality onto that.
Yes.
Okay.
For the existing 3-year contract.
Got it. Okay. I was horribly confused. So
Understood.
I'm catching up. My apologies.
No, it's our apologies. I mean, that should have been called in the background, and
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, I had to read it 3 times and still struggling. So, okay. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Okay, anyone else?
No questions.
Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Motion to approve, Mark
Second.
seconds. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye,
Aye.
and it carries. Thank you.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to a report by our own executive director. And I'd also like to hear a little bit about how NASCIO went, please.
Sure, will do. Got it on the list. Thank you, Madam Chair. And the board. Let me kind of walk down the list, and as always, any questions about anything, be happy to tackle that. Had a pretty big day last Thursday. We did a readout of our procurement modernization roadmap with our council. And just as a reminder, our council is made up of the 30 largest agencies in government that spend somewhere between 98 and 99% of the total dollars allocated. So a sit-down meeting, a couple of extra data points here. I've been giving you some high levels. So this process has not only been deeply engaging over the months to come up with this roadmap and very collaborative, but even at the very end in terms of the paths forward, how to prioritize those tasks in terms of biggest impact to agency was all done collaboratively. So that readout was done last Thursday, the afternoon of the 9th. We have a what I think, just to be candid, is a very excellent roadmap presentation that we will share not only with the board, but with our legislative leaders on the path forward. We had an early win with House Bill 958, if you recall, which opened up code sections that we both modernized and focused on elements of procurement that we wanted to change. So it's been first off, a remarkably productive year in really gaining support in the modernization that has needed to happen with respect to procurement. We had those early wins via statute. We also, because of the way the budget gets submitted that you saw in July, put some other elements to move the ball forward, knowing that we weren't going to get the roadmap done until October. So lots of good momentum moving forward, and we'll share that with you, but just wanted to give you that milestone. We have a top 3 to 5 hit list of where we think we're going to go, focused on sort of a Lean Six Sigma look at process work, accelerated development of other express procurement options, of which we've had success in the last year. And thirdly, really beginning to look at a SaaS-based platform that will become sort of a modernized system of record for procurement. The team's done a phenomenal job at focusing on data in the last year so that we can actually look at the development of SLAs with our agencies, which we've not done. So wanted to share that I think it's moving in a very good direction. And the messaging has been, this foundational work needed to be done. I think we knew the frustration that existed, but we also wanted to message the fact that this is not analysis paralysis. This is a roadmap that we fully plan on moving forward on. And so wanted to just share that extra piece with the board. House Bill 1491 created our Cloud Center of Excellence. We've made a final selection with a partner, and we will be launching that effort here in the next couple of weeks. I think I shared with you last month, we think it's about a 16-week engagement, so it'll eclipse the holidays and into the session. So moving on that strategic initiative, and we'll keep you plugged in. Similarly, if you recall, Senate Bill 2267 directed ITS to look at a statewide data exchange that launched on the 29th of September by the creation of a first ever CIO council to look at a feasibility. We will seek a partner to help us with that as well, as efficiently and quickly as we can. So those two initiatives will be in flight. We'll keep the board up to date as usual, and we will be messaging during the session about what this looks like and means for government in general. Also, a lot of activity around AI, as you would expect. How could you get through an update without saying AI in 2025? We are very much at the tail end of the first phase of our governor's executive order 1584. We believe that we will, in early November, have our AI inventory report ready to go. We will share that with the board. In addition, you recall Senate Bill 2426 created a regulatory task force for AI regulations, policies, framework. That task force has continued to meet and will continue to meet through the fall to sort of look at, from a policy perspective, where we need to land. Our innovation hub for AI, I think, which is an initiative we've talked to you about. We had a couple of really great days that I hinted at last month on October 1st and 2nd. We called them innovation sessions, where we invited agency partners to the table to kind of walk through a very kind of structured process to develop what we hope to be our first handful of use cases for AI. Dr. Napier at Maine has also brought on board an AI strategist that's going to be doing similar work with entities that are interested. So one of the things that's still occurring is you have a lot of AI being leveraged from an individual contributor perspective, right? Augmenting an individual or maybe even a team. What we're really looking to is to sort of make that transition that's fairly standard when you talk to folks from around the country to more scalable enterprise level solutions implementations with generative AI. I will mention too that the team is really focused on capturing those metrics or sort of those KPIs so that we can kind of see what this impact is. I mean, so many times these solutions get put in place and, we're throwing around words like awesome and this is the greatest thing ever, and it's not measurable. And I don't think that is the right way to go. In addition to the regulatory task force, let me just mention real quick that the AI and Workforce Readiness Council, which lives underneath the State Workforce Investment Board, is also meeting. Really a fabulous group. We've met a couple of times. There's some work groups to move forward. So I will say, I won't say how many years, but in a lot of years in government, I've not quite seen the momentum in an area like this, right? In an emerging technology where you have all of this work across all these different areas. So it's really amazing. Our very own Leah Catherine attended the 2025 Digital Innovation Conference in Tupelo, Mississippi, and had a chance to spend a couple of days up there for us at Tom's invitation, which we're grateful for. Let me mention one thing, Madam Chair, and then I'll do NASCIO last since you asked. So I teased at this, but I wanted to also share that our state portal, Mississippi.gov, which renders in the neighborhood of 450 Digital Government Services for Our Citizens was selected for an Outstanding Achievement Award in the 2025 Government Experience Award. So we remain pretty pumped about this program and what it does for citizens.
Congratulations.
So Madam Chair, NASCIO was quite the experience in Denver. Just flew back yesterday. Here is a metric for you. 250 state members participating alongside 750 of our friends from the vendor community. So as you can imagine, over a couple of days, many good conversations. Stephanie Hedgepeth, our brand new Chief Strategy Officer, went, as well as did Holly Sauvignon, our Chief Admin Officer. A wonderful several days. We got to take part Sunday morning in a states-only panel on optimization of IT across states. I had the pleasure of doing that panel with the great state of Montana. And Monday morning got to take part in a panel for our new state CIO survey. So it was really a fabulous couple of days in Denver, which was an amazing host city, right? Anytime you take a Mississippian and you tell us to stare at mountains, we don't know what to make of them. But it was a wonderful time, and lots of good dialogue. I will tell you, it is both remarkably humbling to talk to our 49 sister states about what they're doing. There's so much innovation in public sector IT. It's both sort of daunting because you come back with, man, we got some work to do, but also really inspiring. We had an awards dinner Tuesday night where we get to see this just incredible display across the states about what's happening. So lots of great stuff. Madam Chair, thank you for asking about it.
Thank you for that report, and thank you all for attending. And again, congratulations on your acknowledgement award.
Thank you much.
You're representing us well.
Try to.
Okay, anything else? Any comments? All right, we need to verify a quorum for the next meeting. It's currently slated for Thursday, November 20th, and I actually have a conflict on that day. I'm not sure, Holly, how do you want to verify a quorum being that we only have 3 here today and I've already got a conflict. Should we just do that offline via email perhaps?
We can, Madam Chair. We can go ahead and ask the 2 members that are here their preference and if they can come, and then I can follow up with the other 2 and coordinate with you.
Okay.
I'm currently available.
I am as well.
Okay, we'll check with Bill and Keith. All right, well, good meeting, good report from our director, and I'm glad that you all made it home safely. Thank you all for attending today, and if I have a motion to adjourn, we will do so.
So moved.
Moved by Mark.
Second.
All right, see you all again soon. Thanks, bye-bye.